everyone, my name is Katelynn Strydom and you are watching Sitting with the Stars with RSA Model Awards.
Goedemiddag, I am Katelynn, the dynamite from Sotra. And as you guys can hear, that I started with a very different greeting because we have a very beautiful and interesting and Afrikaner guest. So I had to accommodate her. So, my co-host, introduce yourself before you introduce our beautiful guest.
Hi, my name is Lerato Linkwe, as you know me.
Yeah.
And we are with this beautiful lady here. She's so pretty, guys. Can you admire that?
Yeah.
Can you literally admire that?
You look gorgeous.
She's so pretty.
Man,
Way
please
too
introduce yourself.
So I'm Katelynn Strydom. I'm currently a Teen Universe finalist for 2024 South Africa. I've been in the modeling industry for over 13 years actually. And I'm currently studying at Stellenbosch University, but my whole family is like 5 minutes away from here.
Okay, so she's from Joburg. So you're
Yes,
from
yes.
Joburg. So what are you studying? How did you just wake up in Stellenbosch? I would love that. I mean, just the transfer. Just to wake
Yeah,
up in
it's
Stellenbosch.
big.
I've always been an academic person.
Yeah.
So I worked really hard in primary school to
Okay,
get
that's
to my
beautiful.
high school.
Yeah.
It was a private school and we unfortunately couldn't afford the cost of a private school, and we heard about a thing, a bursary. So I applied for my bursary and they said, okay, but your marks need to be this and this and this. So my grade 6 and my grade 7 year, I was working really hard to get into
it's a
school
good
and that.
thing.
And I walked out the 65% bursary for academics.
Yeah.
And then my brother moved to Cape Town a few years back. And I was like, I always wanted to go to Porch. I wanted to be a Porch student. Being Afrikaans,
Yeah.
But and
Yeah.
I ended up in Stellenbosch University. It was a decision that I don't think I'll ever regret.
Oh, what year are you doing? What course are you doing? I mean,
So I just finished my first year. I passed everything.
there we go. Varsity
Yeah.
is not easy.
Yeah, no, it's not that. And I'm currently studying human resources, and I want to go into industrial after my 3 years.
Wow. Okay, so you're an HR girl.
Yes, yes.
That's great. I mean, she's an HR
I'm an
person.
HR as well. Yes. So now, you're doing everything in Afrikaans.
No, my subject
So
in
you're
that is at least English.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that
No,
you're
no.
doing it because Stellenbosch, I know they do everything in Afrikaans. There's people that, so I was like, oh yeah, that's too much. Your maths, your
'cause what
everything.
happens when you go to this
yeah,
universe?
it's a
No, what's nice is about Stellenbosch is they've got the 3 languages. So you
okay.
get your English, your Afrikaans, and then Xhosa. So basically what happens
Oh, okay.
is,
Also Xhosa.
you, for example, industrial psychology, you can choose to have your classes either in English or Afrikaans. And if you want to have it in Xhosa, then they have like this live lecture thing. So you have to be in the lecture to see the slides and everything, but they do have a translator.
Okay.
Okay.
And one thing that I also have, studying HR, I don't know how many other like subjects there are that you have to do it for, but I had to take course, basic course for
Really?
my first year.
Ma'am, say something in
Yes.
Xhosa now. This is the test.
Kautete,
We need you to
please.
treasure for us.
I'm not
Yes.
gonna lie, I don't remember anything. I remember Molo.
Okay.
I remember T'Challa.
Okay.
I remember what is it? Calamari.
Okay.
There's a few things I remember.
Calamari.
Yeah, Ujani, Aibo, that's
Um,
great.
okay.
I
What's
love
the other
that.
one saying goodbye was Sala Kukuhle Amba
Yeah.
That's
Got
great.
it
I
right.
remember, but
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love how they're just pushing inclusivity, and then I think
Yeah.
that will also contribute to you being the teen universe queen because
Yes.
you are diverse. You are doing human resources, which teaches you a lot about people.
yeah. No,
How does that help you right now during your pageant? But let's start here. Why did you decide to enter the pageant? I know you've been in the modeling industry for quite a while, but why this particular pageant?
So Teen University has been on my mind for a couple of years. I've just never felt ready to do it. I mean, I've been working really hard to get into university once I was in high school. So I made myself a promise, once I'm in university, I want to continue with my modeling career. And Teen University it stood out for me, what they give to you and what you can give to them. And I had this specific course this year. I get like anxiety attacks when I write exams. And it all actually started in my matric year. So it got really, really bad, and that contemplated me, should I go to university or should I not? And something that stood out to me was that there isn't enough support when it comes to these situations.
Yes.
And that's something that I would really like to address. But I also found a new cause as well. I was at an orphanage in Cape Town. All my community work and that was in Cape Town.
Wow.
And I spoke to them about bursaries, and they looked at me and they were like,
What is
what
that?"
is a bursary? So I started my program. I still have to launch it on social media pages and that, but it was bursary mindset. So as I walked out of the orphanage, one of the ladies working there, she came to me and she was like, her daughter's really doing well in school, XYZ. Can I help her with a bursary? And then I sat down and was like, okay, but now, if this handful of kids do not know what a bursary is, how many other students
Don't
and
know.
children are there that don't know what a bursary is, but they do have the potential to get a bursary and make name for themselves?
Shoo. I cannot believe that it is that deep.
Yeah.
Because I think if you know what a bursary is, you're just like, okay, no, everybody
Yeah,
knows.
yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
wants
yeah.
to get a bursary, but I think people don't have the knowledge of that,
Yeah.
and we appreciate that because education is important.
No, it
We
is.
definitely appreciate that. I want to say something about the anxiety, you know. So I didn't write my matric paper 2, maths paper 2, because I got an anxiety attack and I was admitted to hospital. So I can personally relate. I know how deep it is. So I think it's important. Your course is very, like, super important, and I'm very proud that you're doing that, because nobody spoke to me about anxiety. You know,
Yeah,
it's the first time. Imagine you're writing math paper 2 during matric year, and you've never had
yes.
anxiety before, or you've had it, but you don't know.
But it's
it.
never happened to you in that moment.
And
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, what am I doing? And shoo, lights out.
Okay.
And so yeah, your course is very great, guys. Where can they get you? Like, if right now a person's like, okay, I want to follow her just to see these initiatives.
Yes.
So you can follow me on my Instagram. It's Katelynn Strydom, Katelynn.Strydom. So it's KATELYY
Yeah.
.Strydom, or you can follow my program that I created, undefined.org.
Undefined.org.
Yes.
Okay, now let's talk about your personal life. I mean, look,
Yeah.
I'm sure you have personal questions.
Yeah, there is regarding your profession that you're actually studying, and so now remember when they talk about HRs.
Yeah.
I see a sweet person, guys. I see a way too sweet person.
too
So
sweet
now
to
when
be
you're
HR.
in HR, you need to be
HRs.
bold. I think with me, my face, you can tell that, oh, that one, she
Hey,
doesn't
guys,
like nonsense.
Loreta's the kind
so
of
now,
girl
so
who's-
now I was like,
hey.
okay, you are in HR. Aren't you too soft for that? So that's what I was asking myself. That okay, tell me, how are you bold? Are you do you get, because we give the boss lady types.
Yeah,
So that's the
that's
thing.
HR.
So are you able, besides, because remember with the pageant now you still have to smile the whole time, still to be the sweetest girl ever. So that's what I wanted to know.
I must say, hey, I am really hardworking.
Okay.
And my parents are those type that they'll tell everybody straight. It's Caitlin's way or there's no way.
Oh,
No way.
yeah.
So they know. They know who's
I've
HR in the
got
house.
that strict of, this is my expectations and that's how it should be formed. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've gone to HR, because I'm like, this is how I want it and this is when I want it done, and I don't want anything
Any
else.
stories.
Yes.
So you will survive. So the parents know. The parents know.
Yeah,
that
no, my
you will
parents
survive.
know, yes.
That you'll survive in HR. That's great. So I have like a question. I want to know, in terms of life in Stellenbosch, you move from here, you go all the way to Cape Town. How is life there? How is making friends? Partnerships.
Yes.
I don't want to say it, you know, because
Partnerships.
Katelynn is young,
She will
guys.
say it all. She will give us that.
How has that been going throughout the year?
It's been good. I was fortunate enough to not move alone to Cape Town.
Oh.
My boyfriend actually came with me.
Wait, you see when I say people are serious in life, guys.
Yeah, people are
guys,
playing. People, you are playing.
You guys are playing.
You are playing.
People's boyfriends are moving to Cape Town with them. Guys, it's hot in the studio. People are moving to Cape Town with their girlfriends. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, please tell them. Yeah. So you moved there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we both moved to Stellenbosch. He's studying by the Western Province Rugby Academy, so he's playing rugby in that while studying.
Ooh, okay.
And it's a decision that, like I said, I'll never ever regret. It's the environment it's just, I don't know, it's just like it stole a piece of me. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Like Cape Town has just stolen my heart, and I said to my parents, I don't think I'm gonna move back to
I want to
Joburg.
live in Joburg.
No, it's just
Yeah.
like Cape Town has just got something that just attracts people and doesn't want to let them go.
Yeah.
So if I'm getting this right, you guys matriculated together, then moved.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you are part of Teen Universe right now.
Yes.
Here you are winning. And you're like, oh, go to New York for the competition. Should you win, you have to stay in New York for a year. What do we do with the boyfriend, Katelynn? Now I'm just curious. I'm just asking, what happens to the boyfriend now? Because you are Miss Teen Universe, and there's only space for you in New York. Okay, not that there's only space for you, but they're like, okay, we're gonna cover your costs. You live in New York for a year. What happens then?
I do believe that we will still stay together. I do have
So he'd fly to New York with you?
No. I
Okay.
think you still stay in Cape Town. Obviously, he's got his own things that he still has to fulfill in that. I think it will be difficult. I mean, he went to a week for Dubai Sevens, and I was like,
Whew.
I'm so alone.
My man's in Dubai, I'm alone.
But I do believe that we will make it work. Obviously, it takes
Yeah.
sacrifice, but we both have our dreams and goals that we want to achieve.
Yeah, because I feel like relationships are very tricky when you're a pageant person.
Yes,
because your
yes.
goals are not just border bound.
Yes.
You are dreaming Miss Universe.
Yeah.
You will get an apartment at is it the Empire State Building? You just leave South Africa for that
Yes,
year
yes.
when you're Miss Universe. And you're still in the teen stage, but eventually I'm sure you want to go to the main pageant.
definitely, yes.
Yeah, so I think it becomes very tricky, as a pageant girl. You're just like, okay, should I leave this boyfriend? I'm not saying leave your boyfriends, guys. Don't beat me up. But yeah, so you ask yourself a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So then it becomes a thing of how are you willing to compromise, and does the person understand you? How did you make your boyfriend understand? I'm sure obviously he dated you while you were in the modeling industry, but how did you make him understand that these are my dreams and this is where I'm going, and I'm going regardless of what's happening between us?
I think one thing that we really did speak about from the beginning of our relationship was that he's got the dream of rugby. Obviously.
Yes, and he's
We're all
gonna go to the
hoping to
World
get
Cup.
like a Springbok, you know?
Yes,
Yes,
a Springbok
yes,
go
And
Bucker.
I've got that dream of Miss SA and Miss Universe. So obviously it takes a lot of communication to work that out.
between,
What if it
yeah.
happens, And we've been discussing that. I mean, he's been backstage with me a couple of times. He's done my hair while I've been fixing my makeup backstage and that. So he's really picked up on the pageant industry and those type of things. And I think we both just want the best for each other, but we do support each other very much. That we
So
don't see each other.
sorry to disturb. So this actually sounds like you never disagreed on anything when it
No.
comes to any. Oh, this
You
is
guys don't
beautiful.
disagree.
So you
No,
never.
we do disagree. We
So that's what I'm
disagree.
trying to get. I'm trying to get that. Have you ever? There was a point regarding what you do, guys. Did you ever disagree on something that this I'm not happy with this and this and this and that,
We have had our times. I mean, he could have gone to, like, for example, the Cheetahs Academy, which is much closer to home, because he also lives in Joburg. But we both said, okay, but I want to go to Stellenbosch because that's where I want to go. And
That's
he
your
said, okay,
dream.
the VFPA is there. They do offer this
same
and this and
things.
this,
Yes.
And when he came to visit me in Cape Town, when I was, like, by my brother for the holidays, he was like, wow,
Actually.
Cape Town.
I
And
know,
then he's
right?
like, I
Cape
don't
Town,
have to, like,
guys.
say, okay, where are you going to go? He's like, no, Cape Town,
Yeah.
But there was, like, a lot of disagreements of, like, me that didn't actually want to go to university. So I was still going to stay in Johannesburg. But
Wait, you did not want to go to varsity? That's
no,
interesting.
because of the anxiety attacks.
Oh.
Yeah, so I wanted to try and, like, take a gap year and that. But then I sat with my parents and they were like, you're never going to know unless you go.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, let me just
True.
go and try. Because Stellenbosch has got this thing where I think the first 2 months you don't have to pay any fees and that.
Yes,
So you
they
first
do,
see-
they do have,
You
yes.
first see if you're okay with it, whatever, and then you can start paying. So I was like, okay, let me go for the first 2 months and see what
And
it's
see how
like.
it goes.
And yeah, I'm still there, so.
You're okay. How are you coping? I think for me that's like important.
Yeah, because the pressure there.
The pressure and the anxiety. I know guys, anxiety is no joke. Anxiety is
Yeah,
serious.
it's real.
Anxiety is real. I probably have anxiety as I'm sitting here right now. So, how are you coping? I mean, are your exams online? But generally, being in a different province, entering Miss Teen Universe, all of that. How are you coping as a person?
I must say it has its challenges. I do feel like these are your days where you feel like, you know what, I've got too much on my plate. But I've got my support system with me. I've got my parents, even though they're far, they're always, they're there. And my boyfriend's there, he's there to help me and that. It's just, I believe that there's a time and a place for everything, and I just believe that this year was my time to explore a new place. I felt like I needed a new beginning. I needed something more than just being where I was for the past 18 years. And that I found myself in Cape Town. So I'm happy with that. With the anxiety tax at university, I try and dodge it. So like if I sit in the library and I can feel like there's an anxiety attack coming, then I'll just move to like a different venue. But the thing is with exams, and I'm sitting there, I'm writing, I'm like, this anxiety attack doesn't want to go away, what do I do? But I push through it because I'm like, do I really want to do this module again, So I push through it, and I'm like, you know what, I can come back later. When my exam is done, I can go home, I can eat, I can rest. But for now, it's my exam, and this is this.
Sure. Guys, mental health is no joke. I think that is the biggest lesson of this particular episode, that it's important, whether you want to be Miss Universe and all of that, you still get such things. Because I'm sure people are sitting at home right now, they're looking at you and they're like, oh, she's so perfect. There's nothing wrong, And they don't know. Anxiety is just in your mind and body and all of that. So I have a this and that question for you. Like, this or that. So, would you choose to be Miss South Africa or Miss Mamelodi Sundowns? I know this is wild, guys. People are obviously saying, "Oh, it's so obvious," but it's not. It's not that obvious.
At the end of the day, Miss South Africa has been my dream. I think since I can actually remember. But the cause of entering the pageant is not the title to me. It's about what effect can I have on people's lives and what change I can make. And with either pageant that I enter, I can still try and make that change. The only difference is Miss SA might have a bigger
impact.
Not a bigger impact, but like a
bigger stage,
bigger overall. I don't know how to put it. Like
Oh no.
Results.
Yeah.
Yes. Or you can just get more people. Yeah.
I get
yes, I get it.
Okay. Would you choose pageantry or HR?
Pageantry
or HR? Would you choose like?
I want to hear this one. I really want to hear this one.
Pageantry.
I want to hear this one.
Or modeling. Let's say modeling in general.
My heart goes with modeling.
Sure.
But my mind's like, Katelynn, academics, you need a constant income.
Yeah, because.
But my dreams are to have my whole life around modeling. I want to have my own modeling school one day. So I'm just like, HR is there for in case that doesn't work out, because you always need a backup plan.
Of course.
And I mean, studying HR can always help you start
yes,
your own
as well.
business.
Yes.
So it's modeling, but it's like a bit of both.
So and so.
Yes.
Any last question you want to ask her? This or that? Do you have a...
I think I have a tricky one as well.
What is the tricky one?
I'm just looking at her, and I'm like, okay, let me get something that will just...
Just not my head.
No, it's nothing hectic actually. But behind you, besides you portraying this beautiful lady, like behind you, what is one thing that you want people want to know about you, and they always get it wrong? You understand? You get it. That one thing that you wanted to be outside there. You understand? To make people understand, okay, I'm still normal. I still do this and that, because they look at you and they're like,
perfect.
So I just want you, that one message to them, that okay, no, I do this. I'm normal. I do.
Human.
Yeah.
I must say there's quite a few. One thing that people misunderstand about me is I'm actually a very quiet person. I'm like an introvert until you get to know me, and then I'm like, I don't stop talking. And I think a lot of people misunderstand me as like, she's like, Afrikaans got that word mislik. But like deep down I'm just there like, it's me, And if you get to know me, you actually like see I'm like a very humble person. Like there's a shop in Cape Town that we go to, and there's this old man that always sits there, and like I would refuse to go in there if I do not have something extra to buy him something. And every time I walk out, I'll give him something. But the other thing as well is when I had a exam the other day, and in my modeling intro I say one of my hobbies is playing rugby.
Okay.
But now I didn't go all the way deep. It was touch rugby. And then people look at me like, a girl play touch rugby. I was like, I was one of the first girls in my high school to actually play touch rugby, and then I also made regionals.
Yeah.
But that's something that people like don't really know about, because they like see, okay, she's a model, you know. But then it's like rugby
That means
is
you're
also
strong.
rugby
You're
is
strong.
part of my life forever.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
are strong.
Yeah.
That means you are strong. I mean, if you, I can't imagine myself falling like that.
I can't imagine myself
I mean, because
running, guys.
yeah, and
Honestly, I'm
it's
just
so
like,
it's so beautiful that you can actually acclimatize everything in between. Because now I'm looking at it, rugby and you. Remember when you are in this, you need to be a lady, man.
Yes.
Like, so, because I had a problem with that actually. I used to be a soccer player.
Yes.
Because I'm too ladylike, so I felt like running and all that, it's just too much for me. And now we had a complaint with my coach with that, and I was like, nah, man, I'm just gonna leave this.
Yeah.
It's not for me. I'm too ladylike. So yeah, so I really like that.
It's really
we
tricky.
appreciate it.
I wish I could comment on sports. But my sport is coding, guys. I code. That's my extreme sport.
Ooh, the thing is maths for me. It's too much. Yo, the thing is headache. Headache.
I have never been a sporty person. I wish. I look at other people. The only thing I've done is play tennis, but I look at y'all guys and I'm like, oh, I wish I could play touch rugby and soccer. But yeah, so to the camera, what would you like people to remember from this episode about you, about your initiatives, about you wanting to be Miss Teen Universe and all of that? What would you like to say?
So one thing that I have learned throughout my life is what's meant for you will never miss you. And I've been carrying this with me for the past 8 years. My career has started when I was 3 years old. It all started with the ice cream. My parents bribed me to do a photo shoot, and my reward was an ice cream. And I've never gone overseas. I've never won a national pageant. But that has never stopped me with my cause of mental health, because I do believe that is something that really has to be addressed.
Yes.
But also the bursary thing, because I too didn't know what a bursary was. And if I didn't know and someone didn't say, Katelynn, wake up, this is a bursary, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Sure.
And that is something that I do believe people should,
No.
Start realizing that even though you've got your mental health issues, it is still possible. Even though you do not have the finances, you can still achieve what you want to achieve.
Sure.
And even though your circumstances look like, you know what, Katelynn, you're not going to get anywhere, you still have to persevere and wait for that moment and wait for God's time.
Sure. God's time is always right.
Yes, it's always right.
Sure, guys. I think I don't know, man. This podcast, Sitting with the Stars, is like God within us. For some reason, I always feel like each and every
there's someone
episode
speaking,
just has God's work within. Because I think Katelynn, you can just say, okay, Katelynn is a model, but right now Katelynn was like a therapist. Telling us that God's time and you will be fine. Because look at you doing a pageant. I mean, standing on stage, having to speak the interviews.
It's nerve-wracking.
It's nerve-wracking. And as a person who has anxiety, someone there at home with anxiety will say, okay, I can do it. I'm saying that right now. I know my anxiety is horrible, but I can do it. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's been great.
It's a pleasure, sweetheart.
It's been so great, guys. I get so speechless because this is a very personal matter to me, but Sitting with the Stars is definitely godly. It's not just any podcast. You guys must understand that.
Yes.
We are bringing purpose. We're bringing the word, basically, in human form. We are just giving you everything you need to know and more. Motivation. Because, where else are you going to hear a finalist of Miss Teen Universe just casually speaking to you, right? So we're bringing you all of that and more on Sitting with the Stars, RSA Models Awards. Guys, I'm so not papa, guys. Like this episode really humbled me. See you next time.
Yes.